Welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial series, I'm going to talk everything about PHP from beginner to advanced. So I'll show you how you can create a PHP project, how you can declare variable, make if-else condition, and also for loop, while loop. Then I'll show you how to insert, display, update, and delete data in PHP. So if you watch this tutorial series, you will have complete knowledge about PHP. Hello everyone, this is Yamin, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can run your first PHP project. So in order to run PHP project, first of all you need to have XAMPP installed in your device, and if you do not have XAMPP installed, then I'll give a video link over here where I showed you how you can install XAMPP in your device. So once you install XAMPP, what you need to do is that you need to go to where you downloaded your XAMPP. So for my case, I download my XAMPP in my local disk C. Over here you can see a XAMPP folder, so we'll just go inside, and inside the XAMPP folder here you can see htdocs. So whenever we need to create any project using PHP, then every time we need to come to this folder called htdocs, and inside this htdocs we need to make our PHP project. So here let's go and create a folder. So I'll just right click over here, then show more option, then click new, then folder, and let's say our folder name will be php_project, and let me just open this folder using a code editor. You can use Notepad++, Visual Studio Code, or Sublime Text. So I'll just use Sublime Text. So here you can see Sublime Text, and I'm going to open the project from here. So I'll click open folder, then I will go to XAMPP, then htdocs, and here you can see I have a folder over here called php_project. So I'll just select it and click over here, select folder. So here you can see a folder is opened over here, but there is no file inside this folder. So let's just create a file. So I'll just right click on it, then click new file, and here I'm going to name it index.php, then Ctrl S and save. So make sure that whenever you are creating a PHP project, every file extension will always be .php. So right now, if I just go to my php_project folder, here you can see an index file is created over here, and it will look like this. Let me just zoom in. Here it will look like this kind of. Okay, if you created a PHP file. So right now, what you need to do is that once you install XAMPP, just open your XAMPP. Here you can see XAMPP control panel. If you install XAMPP, you will see something like this. Just search for XAMPP and you'll be able to get this. And here you can see Apache. So we need to start this. And there you can see it is started, and it will also show you the port number. Here you can see port number is 80 for my case. For your case, it may be 8080. So right now here we created a index.php. So inside this, let's write HTML code first. Let's say over here HTML, and inside the body we are going to say welcome to PHP, and let's write a PHP code. And in order to write a PHP code, we need to write it like this. We need to give this arrow sign, then we need to give a question mark, then we need to say here PHP, and we also need to close this like this. And inside this we can write our PHP code. So let's say over here echo to double quotation, and inside it we are going to say my first PHP program, and let's save it. And how we can see this in the browser? So in order to see this, what you need to do is that let's go to our browser, and here make sure that your Apache is running, and after that we need to say over here on 27.0.0.1, then we need to give a clone here. Then we need to mention our port number. My port number is 80, which you can see over here 80. For your case, it might be 8080. If your port number is 8080, just write over here 8080. But since my port number is 80, I'll just say over here 80. And after it, I'll give a slash. Then here, you can see that my project name is PC_project, which is inside the htdocs. So we need to write it exactly. We write over here. So we'll write over here in the browser php_project. Then we'll give another slash, and after it inside PHP underscore project, we have index.php. So we can just say over here index.php and then press enter. And there you can see welcome to PHP, my first PHP program. So this is how you can run your first PHP program. I hope I'm clear to you. If you face any problem or any error, just let me know in the comment section. Hello everyone, welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about variables in PHP. So first of all, let me just remove everything from here. And in order to write the PHP code, first of all, we need to give this arrow sign, $PHP, and the tag int like this. So inside this, we can write our PHP code. So the variable we are going to talk about are string, then we'll talk about integer. Integer is basically number. Then we'll also talk about float. Float is basically decimal number, and we'll also talk about boolean as well. So in order to give a comment in PHP, we can just give / here, and there you can see this comment out. So right now, if we save, then refresh here, there is nothing. So right now, let's first talk about string variable. So in order to declare a string variable, let's say here $name equal to, we need to give two double quotation and end it with a semicolon. So in order to declare a string variable, we need to give double quotation, and inside this double quotation you can write anything. For example, let's say Yamin, which is my name, and let's print this. So in order to print this, we'll say here equal, and it will be $name. Then refresh here, there you can see it says Yamin. So we can add a few more things before printing this. So for example, let me just remove this. We'll give double quotation, and here I'm going to say my name is, then I can just declare this variable, and this variable contains the name which is Yamin. I can just say it like this, and there you can see my name is Yamin. Let me just zoom it here, and there you go. Let me just give you one more example. Let's declare another variable. Let's say $food equal to, let's say, pizza. And right now, let's print this. So I'm going to say here equal double quotation I like $food, and it will print pizza. Refresh here, there you can see I like $food, and we can separate those by using a br tag. So let me just write br tag here. Let me just do the same thing for here as well. If we now refresh, there you can see it's in different line. You can also print those variables in the same echo or in the same line. For example, we can say here echo, let's say $name, Yummy, like $food. So the print will be Yummy like pizza. If we now refresh here, there you can see Yummy like pizza. So those are string variable. You can write here tasty pizza. You can write multiple line or multiple art in the variable, and there you can see I like tasty pizza, Yamin like tasty pizza. So right now let's talk about integer. How do we declare integer variable? For example, let's say $age equal to, let's give a number, let's say 25, and whenever you want to declare a integer variable, there is no need to give any double quotation. If you give double quotation, then this will consider as a string, not as a number. So let's print this. The printing is same. Let's say here equal I am $age years old. Refresh, and there you can see I am 25 years old. Okay, let me just use the br tag here and here as well. And there you go, I am 25 years old. Let me just give you one more example with integer. Let's say here $price equal to, let's say price is 40. So we are going to print this. So let's say here equal the product price is $price. And I just forgot to give a semicolon here. So let me just save it, then refresh, and there you can see the product price is 40. So let's say you have to have $sign before this. Then for it, all you need to do is that you just have to give a $sign, say, then refresh, and there you can see $40. So let's talk about float. There you can see dot, and let's talk about dot. So float is basically decimal variable. And how can we declare decimal variable or float variable? For it, let's say here dollar $CGPA equal to, let's say your CGPA is 3.5. So in order to declare a float variable, all you need to do is that you just need to give a dot and then a number. Let's say your CGPA is 3. So you want to get it as a float. So after this, you need to say here 3.0. If you say here only 3, then it will consider as an integer. But if you give a dot and any number, then it will consider as a float. So let's also print this. Let me just copy this, paste it here. Let's say there my CGPA is dollar CGP, and let me just copy this here and paste it for the price. Save it, refresh. There you can see my CGP is 3.5. So right now let's talk about Boolean variable. So the value for Boolean is either the variable value is true or false. Boolean variable is like a on-off button. It has only two data, true and false. So in order to declare a Boolean variable, let's say get dollar online. Let's say online equal to, you need to say here true. If you say either true or false, then this variable will be considered as a Boolean variable. If you write any other things, then it will not consider as a Boolean variable. You either need to say get true or false. Let's say here equal you are dollar online. So if you now save and if you now refresh, there you can see it is showing only you are and there is no data for online. And if we say there true, then save it, then refresh here, there you can see you are on. So if the value of the Boolean variable is true, then it will give us on, but if it is false, then it will be nothing. It will give us nothing. So we normally do not use Boolean. We only use Boolean when we want to use this as a condition. If there is any data empty or not. If empty, then we give that condition, that Boolean value inside the if condition. And the if condition will check if the value of that certain data is true or false. So those are the string, integer, float and Boolean variable in PHP. I hope your basic is clear about variable in PHP. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. I will check out the comment. Make sure to subscribe and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In the previous tutorial, we talk about variables in PHP. So in this tutorial, we're going to see some basic mathematical operation in PHP. So let me just remove those from here. And here, we're going to see some basic math operation. So let's go and declare a variable. Let's say here dollar number one equal to, it will be 10. And let's declare another variable, let's say number 2, and the value for this number 2 will be, let's say 20. And we want to find the total sum of those two numbers. So here we're going to say equal, then to double quotation, and we will find the addition of those two numbers. So for it, we need to say number 1 plus, it will be dollar number 2. Then if we just set this, then refresh here, there you can see it is showing us only 10 plus 20, but not the total number. So for it, what we can do is that if we just remove the double quotation from here, then save it, then refresh, there you can see it is showing us 30. But what if we also add some text before this? So how can we do it? If we keep double quotation and write some text, it will not find us the sum. So for it, what we can do is that we are just, let me just use the echo for now. We are going to declare a variable, let's say it will be total equal to, we are going to say number 1 plus number 2. So we are going to say here number 1 plus dollar number 2. So this total variable will have the total value of this number 1 and number 2. If we just say here equal dollar total, save, then if we refresh here, there you can see it is showing us 30. And right now we can add some text before this number. Let's say here, double quotation, total number is we can say dollar total, say refresh, there you can see total number is 30. So if you want to find the subtraction value, for example, let's say the value of number 1 is 30 and number 2 is 20, and we want to find the subtraction value, so we can just keep here minus sign. There you can see we give a minus sign. If we now refresh here, the value should be 10. If we now refresh, there you can see that total number is 10. Now if you want to find the multiplication, you can just give the multiplication sign there, star sign, just press shift and 8, it will give you the star sign. Then if we refresh, it will give us the total multiplication of those two numbers, which is 600. So the same way you'll be able to find the division value as well. We just need to give a slash here, say refresh, and it will give us the division number, which is 1.5. 30 divided by 20 is 1.5. Now let me just show you one more thing, and that is called counter. So let me just declare a variable here. Let's say counter equal to the value is 0. So I'm going to show you increment and decrement, how we can do it. So let's say here, again, we are going to say counter equal to, we are going to say this variable counter plus 1. So what it will do is that it will add the number plus 1 with the count value. So if we just say here echo dollar counter, if we just save it, refresh, there you can see it will show us on. Let me just add a PR tag here. Refresh, there you can see it is showing us on, because 0 plus 1 is on. So instead of doing it like this, you can make your work more easier by giving counter plus plus. If you just save this, then refresh, it will still give us on. And if you send here minus minus, it means it will do the 0 minus on. It means the value will be minus on. If we just refresh, there you can see it is showing us minus on. So what this will do is that it will do 0 minus on. So we can just shortly write it like this. So this is how you can use simple math operation in PHP. I hope this tutorial is easy for you to follow. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorial. Welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, we are going to talk everything about if-else condition in PHP. So what is if-else condition? Let's say we have a condition and that condition is correct, then we will do it. Otherwise, if the condition is wrong, then we'll do something else. So I'll just show you everything with the example. It will be more clear. First of all, let's go and declare a variable. Let's say dollar number 1 equal to, let's say 10. So right now we are going to write a if condition. So how do we write a if condition? We write it here if, then we give to first bracket, then we give to second bracket, and inside this to first bracket we give a condition. So here we are going to give a condition that we are going to check whether the value of number 1 is 10 or not. So we are going to say here dollar number 1, and we need to give here double equal, not single equal. We need to give double equal, then we need to say here 10. Then let's say here inside this to first bracket we are going to say equal number value is 10, and we need to end this with a semicolon. So right now if we just set this, and if we now refresh here, there you can see number value is 10. Now if we just give over here instead of 10, if we say here 15, then save it, it means the condition inside this if condition is wrong, because right now the number on this num on value is 50, so it will not print anything. If we now just set this, then refresh here, that can see it will show us nothing. So right now we should give a message over here so that the user can understand that the number value is not 10. So for it, we'll give this else condition. So how does else condition work? We need to say here else, ELSE, then to second bracket. Else condition or when the if condition is wrong. It means when the if condition is wrong, it will automatically print whatever we have inside this else condition. So we'll say here echo number value is something else. So if we now just set this and if we now refresh here, it will show number value is something else because the number on value is 15 and it says 10. And in this if condition, the value of number on is 10. So that's why it will show whatever we have inside this else condition, which is number value is something else. Again, if we say here 10, it means this condition will be right. So it will not come to the else condition. It will only print this on. If we now refresh here, there you can see number value is 10. Now let's say you want to give multiple condition like this, like if condition. So if you want to write multiple condition, for it we need to set here else if. If you want to give multiple condition, let's say else if here we are going to say dollar number 1 equal to, let's say 11. And this time for 11 we are going to say here the number value is 11. So first of all, it will check the number on value which is 10. It will check whether the condition for the first one is right. If it is right, then it will print it. Otherwise it will check the second condition. Then if none of those condition is right, then it will print whatever we have in the else condition, if none of those condition is correct. If we now save it, obviously it will give us 10 because the number on value is 10. Let's say here 11. It means this if condition will be wrong, but this one will be correct. Okay, I need to give 2 equal sign here. So right now if we save it, then refresh here, there you can see the number value is 11. So you can give multiple else if condition. For example, you can just write here else if number on equal to, let's say this time 21. Here we will say number value is 21. If we now set this, obviously it will give us 11 because the number value is 11. Let's say here 21. Save, refresh, there you can see it give us 21. Let's give a different number here. Let's say the value will be 2011. So this time it should print whatever we have inside the else condition because all those condition is wrong. All those condition is wrong, so it will directly print whatever we have in the else condition. If we refresh, there you can see the number is something else which is in the echo else condition. So you can give multiple else if condition. Any amount you want, you can give like 10 or 20 else if condition, but you can only write if condition only once. Okay, so right now we're going to show you something else. So instead of equal, let me just remove those. So instead of equal sign, we're going to give this is greater than equal. So we're going to check if the number is greater than 10 or not. So we're going to say number is greater than 10. And here we're going to say number is smaller than 10. So it will check whether whatever number we have, is it equal to or is greater than 10. If the condition is right, it means it will print number is greater than 10. Otherwise it will print number is smaller than 10. If we now set this, then refresh here, there you can see it says number is greater than 10. If we say here 10, save it, refresh, it will again say number is greater than 10 because we have a equal sign here. But if we remove the equal sign, then save it, then refresh, it will say number is smaller than 10 because 10 is not greater than 10. So let's keep the equal sign. And if we say here 9, it means this condition is wrong because 9 is not greater or equal to 10. So it will print number is smaller than 10. Let me refresh here. There you go. It says number is smaller than 10. Okay. So you can also write onward else if condition if you want. Let me just show you. We are going to say here else if. Then here inside this we are going to say smaller than. It will be less than 9, and here we are going to say if the number is equal to 10, it will say number is 10. And here we are going to say if the number is smaller or equal to 9. So here we are going to say number is smaller than 9, let's say, and here we are going to say number is let's say higher than 10. Higher than 10. So here we are just giving condition if number on equal to 10, only then print number is 10. And if the number on variable is equal to or smaller than 9, then it will print number is smaller than 10. Otherwise, it will print number is higher than 10 because there is no greater function here. So if the number is not smaller than 10, then it will be higher than 10. And after this, I need to give a equal sign here, number equal 10, not a single equal. So right now, let's save this. So here, what will happen is that here the value of number is 9. So it will check in the if condition. So in this condition, we say number equal 10, which is wrong. Then it will come here and it will see that the number is either equal to or smaller than 9. Then this condition will be right. Since the number value is 9, so it will print it. Let me just show you. If you now save it, refresh, there you can see number is smaller than 10. And in the else condition, here you can see number is higher than 10. If we just say here 11, it means both if and else if condition will be wrong. If we now refresh, there you can see it will say number is higher than 10. So right now we can write multiple condition inside a single if condition. For example, we have AND operator, OR operator and NOT operator. Let me show you the OR operator first. So here we can say if number is equal to 10 or, so in order to give the OR operator, you need to give this sign. So in order to give this sign, you need to press on shift and the backslash. Then it will give you this sign. Declare one more variable, let's say $number2 equal to, it will be let's say 20, and let's say this number on value will be 10. So here we're going to give a condition if number on value or number 2 value condition. So here in this if condition, we're going to check if the number on value is 10 or number 2 value is 20, then we'll print something, number is good. Otherwise, we'll say number is bad. So here the both condition is right, so it will show us number is good. Since this is a OR operator, it means if just a single condition met, it means it will print whatever we have inside this echo. Let's say here the number on value is 505. It means the first condition will be wrong, but the second condition will be right. And since we are using OR operator, if a single condition is right, it will print it. If we now refresh here, there you can see it says number is good. Now, if we just say here, let's say this one is 10 and this one is 202, it means the number 2, this condition is wrong. Again, since on condition is right, so it will print number is good. But if both condition is wrong, then it will go to the else condition. So here, let's say 100 on and this one is 202. It means both of those condition is wrong. So it will not print this on, it will directly come to the else condition. If we now refresh, there you can see it says number is bad. So this was OR condition. Now let's talk about AND condition. And in AND condition, both of those condition needs to be right. It means if a single condition is wrong, then it will not print whatever we have inside this if condition. Let's say here, the number is 10 and 20. So both condition is right. So it will print number is cool. But let's say the first condition is wrong. Let's say 100 on, it means the first one is wrong, but the second one is correct because number 2 value is 20. And since this is a AND condition, both of those conditions needs to be correct. If one of them is wrong, it will not print it. So if we now refresh here, it will say number is bad. And obviously, if both of the condition is wrong, then it will again print number is bad, because in AND condition, we need to have all condition correct. So if we just say here, number 1 is 10, number 2 is 20, both condition is right, so it will say number is good. So this is AND operator. Let's talk about NOT operator. So what is NOT operator? Let me just make it more simple for you to understand. So here, in order to use NOT operator, we just need to give this NOT sign here. So in order to give this sign, you need to press shift and then on. Then you will get this icon. So it means if the number value is not 10, then we are going to say number is, let's say here, number is not right. And let's say here number is left. So if the value of number on is not 10, only then it will print this. Otherwise, it will go to the else condition. So here you can see the number value is 10. So since the number value is 10, so it will not come to this condition. It will print this else condition. If we now refresh here, there you can see it says number is left. But if we just set here 11, it means the number is not 10, so it will come to this condition. So right now, let me just give a is greater than sign here. So here we check if the number is not equal to or is greater than 10, only then we'll print this number is not right. Otherwise, we'll print number is left. But if we just say here number 1 equal to 9, it means the number is not equal to or is greater than 10. It means this condition is right for this value. So if we now save it, then refresh. Okay, the number is still left. Okay, the thing is we need to give a first bracket over here after the not sign, and the first bracket will end here like this. So if we now set this, then refresh here, there you can see it says number is not right. So those are on the basic of if-else condition in PHP. In the next tutorial, we are going to see nested if-else condition. So make sure to subscribe, give a comment, leave a like, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. In this tutorial, I am going to show you nested if in PHP. So nested if means a if condition inside a if condition. So let me just declare a variable. Let's say here $age equal to 18. Then we'll say here $country equal to, it will be Germany. Then we are going to give a if condition, if, then to first bracket, then to second bracket. Inside this if condition, we are going to first check the value of country. So we'll say $country double equal to, is it Germany? If the country is Germany, then we'll come to this if condition, and inside this if condition we can give another if condition like this. Then we'll check $age equal 18. Then we'll say here equal, you are allowed to hold. You are allowed to hold. Otherwise, we'll say here else equal not allowed. So if we now save this, then refresh here, there you can see you are allowed to hold because the country name is Germany. So it will first come to this if condition. Since the country name is Germany and the age is 18, so it will print you are allowed to vote. But if the age is, okay, let's give a is greater than equal sign. So it will give us the same output. If the age is, let's say 17, it means the country condition is fine, but the age condition did not met. So it will print not allowed to hold. So if we now refresh here, there you can see it says not allowed to vote. And if we just change the condition here, the country name instead of Germany, let's say here India, it means this condition is wrong, so it will not show us anything. If we now refresh here, there you can see there is nothing over here. So what we can do is that for this if condition, we can give a else condition. So in this else condition, we can say equal, you are not a citizen. If we now set this, then refresh here, it will print you are not a citizen. But if you say here Germany, it means the country name is Germany, so it will not show us anything. If we now refresh here, there you can see it says not allowed to vote. But if you say here, it will not show us anything. If we now set this, then refresh here, it will print you are not a citizen. But if you say here, Germany, it will print you are not a citizen. and refresh here, it will say not allowed to vote because the age is 17. Let's say age is 21. Refresh here, you are allowed to vote. So this is called nested if-else condition. I just make it really simple for you to understand. This is the if condition, this is the else condition. So I hope you are clear about if-else condition in PHP. I try to make this as simple as possible. If you still have any question or any suggestion, just comment below. I'll read the comment and I will try to answer your question as soon as possible. So thank you again for watching. Make sure to subscribe and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, in this tutorial we're going to see switch case in PHP. So switch case is basically just like if-else condition, but you need to write a less code in switch case. But let me just give you an example with if-else. So here, let me just declare a variable, let's say $result equal to, let's say grade A. Then we are going to write a if condition if $result equal if it is A, capital A, and let's just keep this inside to double quotation and this one as well. So if the grade is or result is A, we're going to say here echo you got A. Then we're going to give a else if condition. Else if we're going to say here $result equal if it is B. Then we're going to say here echo you got B. So like this, let me just write one more condition. Let me just copy this, then paste it here. I'm going to say here C, and this will be C as well. After that, let me just give a else condition here. Else, let's just say here echo you failed. So right now, if we just save this, then if we refresh here, there you can see it will say you got A because the result value is A. If we say here B, then refresh, there you can see it will say you got B. Then if we just say here C, then refresh here, it will say C. So we have three conditions A, B and C. So let's say we give over here if there is no condition for F, so it will directly go to the else condition and it will print you failed. So let me save it, then refresh here and it will say you failed. So the same thing we can do using switch case and the code will be more easier. Let me just show you. Let me just remove those. Again, let me just declare a variable. Let's say $result. The same thing equal to, let's say, capital F on now. Then we're going to say here switch. Since it is a switch case, we need to say here switch. Then we need to mention this variable, which is $result. Then we need to give to second bracket. So inside this, we're going to write some case. Since the name is switch case. So we are going to say here case, it will be A. Then we need to give a clone here. Then we are going to say here echo and we'll print here you got A. And for switch case, there is a second bracket. So we need to say here break. So this is case A. So here whatever value we have, it will compare it with this result variable. So if the value of result is A, it will come to this switch case and it will see that for case A, the value for result, which is A, it matches with this one. So it will print you got A. So let me just copy this and we're going to write a few more case just like this. So we're going to say here case B this time. Case B. Then here we're going to say you got B. It will copy this, paste it here. And we're going to say here you got C for case C. So right now in the value for result is A, so it will print you got A. If we now save this, then refresh here. Okay, I made a mistake. We need to give double quotation here. So let me just give double quotation for this on, and this on. Let me save it again and let me refresh. It will set you got A. If we just say here in the result value B, then refresh, it will say B. If we say here C, it will say over here you got C. Right now, what if we give D here? Now there is no case for D. So if we refresh, it will show us nothing. So just like if else, we have a default option for switch case as well, and that is we need to say here default. We need to give a clone here, then we can just say here echo, then you can say you faint. Okay, so what will happen is that if this value doesn't match with any other case, then it will just print whatever we have in the default case. And for this default case, you do not need to give any break. So let me save it, and the value is D, which do not exist for any case. So if we now refresh, it will say you failed. And also just make sure to give the break for each case, because break means that this case ain't over here. So those are the basic of switch case. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how we can use for loop in PHP. So what is for loop? Let's say you want to print something multiple times, let's say 10 times or 100 times. So in that case, you can use for loop. Let me just show you an example. Let's say here echo, and we're going to print here hello. And let's just add a line break here. So right now, if we save this and if we refresh here you can see hello. Now let's say I want to print this hello 5 times. So for it, what I need to do is that I need to copy this and paste it 5 times. So let me just give a semicolon here. Let me just copy this, and I'm going to paste it here 5 times on 2, 3, 4, and 5. If we now save and refresh, there you go. Now what if I want to print this 100 times? So do I like copy and paste it 100 times? That doesn't make any sense. So in that case, we can use for loop. So in order to write for loop, we need to say here for, then to first bracket, then to second bracket like this. And inside this to second bracket, we're going to say echo hello. So right now, inside this to first bracket, we need to say that how many times we want to print this. So in order to do that, first of all, we need to declare a variable, let's say $I equal to 0. Then we need to give a semicolon. After that, we need to say how many times we want to print this. So we'll say here I smaller than 5. And right now, we need to increase the value of I. So we'll say here I plus plus. And we need to give $sign before each I. So right now, let me just explain. So here, at the beginning, the value of I is 0. And we are giving a condition that I must be smaller than 5. And here we are saying I plus plus. It means increase the value of I by on. I plus plus means basically I plus on. So we normally write I plus plus like this. So at the beginning, the value of I is 0. Then the value of I will become 2 over here. After that, it will eventually become 3, 4. And when the value of I become 5, equal to or is greater than 5, so it will in the for loop. So this way it will print this hello 5 times. If we now refresh here you can see we have hello 5 times. If we say here I smaller than 10, then save this, then refresh here, it will print hello 10 times. And here you can see we give I equal to 0. Normally when we code, we normally start from 0. If you say here I equal to on, then the condition will be I is greater than equal to 10. So the value of I will start from on, and in that 10, and the value of I cannot be greater than 10. If we now refresh, we'll see the same result. So right now, let me just show you the value of I. So in that case, I can just say here $I here. If we now save this and refresh here, there you can see we are able to see the value of I. If we give here 0, then save it. Okay, let me just bring the equal sign. Save it, refresh. There you can see the value of I started from 0 and ended at 9. Because we say here I must be smaller than 10. Now we can do this in a different way. Instead of incrementing the value of I, we can also decrement the value of I. For that case, let's say here I equal to 10. And then here the condition will be I is greater than 0, and it will be I minus minus. So our loop will start from 10 and ended at on, because we said here I is greater than 0. If you now save, then refresh, there you can see it started from 10 and it ended at on. If we just say here I equal to 10 and if we give a equal sign here, let's say I equal to on, we'll get the basically same output. Refresh here, there you go. But if we say here I is greater than equal to 0, then we'll also get one more hello and that will be for 0. If we now refresh and there we go. So for loop is really useful in PHP. It is something very basic that you must know. So I hope you have complete understanding about for loop. If you still have any question or if you want to suggest me anything, just comment below. I'll check the comment. Make sure to subscribe and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about while loop. While loop is basically does the same thing as for loop, but the writing of for loop is a little bit of different. So here you can see we have a for loop here and we printed hello 10 lines. So we are going to do the same thing using while loop. So let me just reloop this. And for while loop, we just need to say here while, then we need to give to first bracket, then to second bracket. And inside while loop, we need to give only one condition. Let me just say here $I is smaller than 10. And then here we're going to say echo hello and let's say $I. Let's also add a line break here. Let's say br. And right now, first of all, we need to set a value for this I at the beginning. So we just need to say here at the beginning, we need to say $I equal to 0. So right now we're going to say here $I plus plus and end it with a semicolon. So here at the beginning the value of I is 0, then we give a condition, then we printed hello with the value of I, then we just increase the value of I. So at the beginning the value of I will be 0, then after coming here it will be on, then it will check the condition, then it will again come here, then the value of I will become 2, 3, 4 up until it will print hello all when the hello of I is 9. If we now save it, then refresh, here we can see the same output. If we say here I smaller than 100, they'll save, then refresh, it will give us up until 99, from 0 to 99. While loop basically does the same thing as for loop, but the written style is a little bit different, but for loop is more popular than while loop. So I hope you are clear about while loop. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about array. Now, array can hold more than one value. Let's say we have to declare 10 variable for force. But if we use array, we can do it really easily by using only one variable. For example, let me just show you. Let me declare variable, let's say $food on equal to, it will be, let's say, apple. Then let me just copy this and I'm going to paste it here. So this time I'm going to say food 2, this will be food 3, and here the name will be, let's say, mango, and for food 3 it will be banana. So right now if you want to echo this, we need to echo this one by one. Also we need to declare each variable every time for every data. But if we use array, we can do this really easily. Let me just show you. Here we are going to say $food, or let's say $foods equal to, we are going to say here array, then to first bracket. So inside this array to first bracket, we can just give to double quotation or single quotation and we can write our fruit name. So we'll give a comma here, then again to double quotation, let's say here mango. After that, this one will be banana. So right now, if you want to print this, let me just show you. If we say here echo, then if we say $foods, it will give us an error. Let me just show you. If we set this, then refresh, there you can see it says warning array to string conversion. So there's an error. So how can we display those or print those? So in order to print those, what we need to do is that here this is the array. So this is called an index. This is called index 0, this is called index 1, and this is called index 2. If there was one more data, then it would consider as index 3, and then 4, 5, 6 and more. So here if you want to print apple, so the first one will always start from index number 0. So we need to give to third bracket. Then we need to say here 0. 0 means it will be the first index, which is apple. If we now save this, refresh, there you can see it printed apple. So if you want to print mango and banana, all you need to do is that we just need to copy this, then paste it here. We need to say here index number 1. 1 means mango and 2 means banana. And here if we say 2, then save, refresh, there you can see mango and banana. Okay, let me just add a line break here. I'll give a dot, then I'll add the beer tag. Let me just copy this and paste it here and here. Refresh. Okay, we need to keep this beer inside to the double quotation. So let me just add those here and here. So we need to write it like this. Then refresh, and there you can see it says apple, mango and banana. So if we have, let's say, one more data here, let's say it will be coconut. And if you want to print this, all you need to do is that we need to say here foods free, then save, refresh, there you can see it says coconut. But if we give a index number that doesn't exist here, let's say here index number 4, which doesn't exist here, it will give us an error. There you can see undefined array key 4. So like there might be hundreds of data inside the array. So we can do this really easily using for loop. For example, here we are going to say here for to first bracket, we are going to declare a variable, let's say I equal to 0. Then we say I smaller than, we have total 0, 1, 2, 3. So we say I smaller than 4, then we say I plus plus. Then we'll give to second bracket, then we can just say here echo. Let me just paste it here, echo, and it will be foods, and here instead of 2, we're going to say here I. So, and there's an error, so okay, I need to give a $sign here for the I, and here a $sign as well. And there we go, if we save it, there is no error. So what will happen is that at the beginning, the value of I is 0, so it means the value of I is smaller than 4, so it will come here and it will print the value of I, which is apple. For the index number 0, value of I is apple, so it will print apple, then it will print mango, banana, coconut, and when the value of I become 4, it means this condition is wrong, so it will in the loop. So right now if we save this, then refresh, okay, we need to give $sign here. I always forget the $sign. Let's save it here, refresh, and there you can see it shows apple, mango, banana, coconut. If you have hundreds of data, you just need to modify the condition here. So there is one more way we can do this really easily, and that is by using for each loop. So we can say here for each to first bracket. So here you can see $foods. So we are going to say here $foods as, that we need to say a different variable. If you say the same variable, that won't be any issue, but you should always use a different variable. So I just remove the S from here. After that, we can just say here echo, then $food, we need to say this one, $food, then let me just add a line break here. So we're going to say here the beer tag. If we now save it, refresh, it will show us the same thing. Let me just show the coconut from here. Save, then refresh, and there you can see it shows apple, mango and banana. So let me just show you one more thing. Let's say we just change the value for index number 1. So if we just say here $foods equal to third bracket, we want to change the index number 1 value. So we just need to say here on equal to, let's say this time it will be pineapple, then save it. So this time we change the index number 1 value to pineapple. So it won't show mango here, it will show here pineapple. Let me just refresh, and there you can see it shows pineapple. So those are the basic of array in PHP. If you have any question or suggestion or confusion, just let me know in the comment section. I'll check the comment and give you a reply. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, welcome to PHP tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can connect your PHP file to the database. Now, in order to create a database, you need to have XAMPP installed. So here, just go to your Google or any browser, just search for XAMPP download. And once you search for XAMPP download, you will get this link or see this link, just click here. And from here, you can download the XAMPP for Windows, Linux or OS X, and make sure that you always download the most latest version. The download and installing is very simple. Just download it and then click next, and it will be installed. And if you are confused how to install XAMPP, then I will keep the link in the video description, and you will also get the link at the top of this video where I showed you how you can install XAMPP. So you can follow that video if you want. So once you download and install XAMPP, you are ready to create a database and connect it with your PC project. So once you install XAMPP, and then if you go to your Windows search bar and search for XAMPP, you will see something like this, XAMPP control panel. Just open it, and here you can see Apache and MySQL, and we have start option here. You need to start the Apache and then MySQL. So you will see the port number, and also you can see that those are started here. That's why we are seeing stop. And here for MySQL, you can see admin option. If you click on admin, it will open the PHP admin here. Or what you can do is that you can just copy the link from here, and you can go to another browser. And if you just write this in the browser, localhost/phpMyAdmin, then press enter, it will open your database, I mean the phpMyAdmin. Here you can see phpMyAdmin. So here we are going to create a database for our project. So for it, what we are going to do is that let me just use this browser. So for it, in order to create a database, what you need to do is you need to click here on this new option. Here you can see new option. So I'll click on new, and then here you need to give your database name. You can name it anything. Let's say here my PHP, and then I'll click here on create button. If you click on create, here you can see it created a database, and the database name is my PHP. So right now we want to connect this database with our PHP project. So in order to do that, first of all, let me just declare some variable. Let's say db underscore. We're going to mention our server name. So let's just say here server. You can declare this variable anything you want, but let's just make it more reasonable. Let's say db server equal to, it will be localhost. And why localhost? Because here you can see localhost. So let's go back, and after db server name, we are going to get the db username, password, and the database name. So let's say here $db underscore user. So normally the username is always root. Once you just download and install XAMPP, normally that db name is always root unless you change the name. So make sure that the name is root. After db user, we need to give db password. So let's just say db pass equal to, so by default the password is null, I mean empty, unless you have changed the password in your MySQL. So after db password, we have the database name, and our database name is myPHP that we just created. So here we are going to say $db underscore database equal to, it was myPHP. So then let me just declare one more variable to check whether database connection is complete or not. Let's say here $connection, let's say $con equal to, it will be empty at the beginning. So right now we're going to use this $connection to check whether the connection is complete or not, the database connection. So here we're going to say $con equal to MySQLi underscore connect. We're going to give to first bracket, and here one by one we're going to mention the database server name, username, password, and database name. So I can just copy this from here directly, paste it here, then give a comma. Again, we are going to copy this db underscore user, paste it here. Then we have db password, copy, paste. After that, the last one is db database. And we need to write it in this sequence. First of all, it will check the localhost, then the root user, I mean the database username, password, and then it will check the database name. And you need to end it with a semicolon, like this. It will just zoom out a little bit. Here you can see. Okay, so once you write this, your database connection is done. But how can we check it? So you can just give a if condition. If this is true, if $con is true, then it will show us a message. Let's say here equal. Let's say database is connected. Otherwise, we are going to show the error else equal database not connected. So right now, if we just set this and if we just open it in the browser, okay, it's already running because I already opened it here. So if we now refresh here, there you can see the database is connected. Let me just make it smaller and this one as well. Let me zoom in. Here you can see database is connected. For example, if I just change the database name from my PHP to my PHP 1234, then save it, it means this database name does not exist here. This database name does not exist here, so it should give us an error that or a message that database is not connected. If we now save, then refresh here, it will give us an error. So it will show us this error that unknown database, my PHP 124 does not exist. So it means unknown database. So we can show this message in a different way. So let me just write this in a different way. So here, I'm going to keep this $con inside a try catch condition. So let's say here try, then to second bracket, and I'm going to say here this. So I'm just going to keep this con MySQL I connected, this on here. Then we're going to say here catch. And inside this catch, we're going to say MySQL I underscore SQL underscore exception. If there's an exception, then we're going to say here echo. Let me just copy this from here from this else condition, and I'm going to paste it here, and I can just get rid of the else condition. So here, if there's an exception, it means if there's an error for this con, then it will show us a message database not connected. Otherwise, it will show the message database is connected. So here right now, if we save, then refresh here. So it will be my SQLi. I forgot a S here. So let me just refresh here, and there you can see it will show us database is not connected. And if I just remove this onto 3.4 from here, save it, then refresh here, it says database is connected. And one more thing I would like to show, that is if your XAMPP is turned off, for example, I just stopped the XAMPP here, then if we just refresh here, it will not work. It will say database not connected. But if we just start the XAMPP again, then refresh here, it will say database is connected. So make sure that your XAMPP is running. Right now, I would like to show you one more thing, that is the database connection is required in every pages in PHP. So are you going to write all of those lines in every pages? That will be quite a hassle. So what we can do is that we can keep this part in a separate page and connected it without home.php. For example, I'll just click here file, then I'll click on new file, and let's say the file name will be database.php. Then just press enter, and let me just create file. Click on create file. So there you can see we have created a file called database.php. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to cut everything from here, from home.php, and paste it here. Then inside this home.php, I can say HTML. I can say here HTML in the body. I can say, let's say h1 tag. Let's say hello world opening and h1 closing. So right now we will do connect the database without home.php. So we can do it really easily. All we need to do is that here we need to say here PHP opening, then the PHP closing, and inside it we can just say here include to first bracket to double quotation, then we can say database.php, which is our this file name. So we will be automatically getting the code to this page automatically. So it will print the database is connected and then hello world. Let me just show you. If I now just refresh here, There you can see database is connected and it is also showing the hello world. So this is how we can connect your database in PHP. I hope this was easy for you to follow. If you have any question or suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to upload data to MySQL database in PHP. So here you can see I have home.php over here and we have some simple HTML code. So right now, first of all, we are going to create a form in order to upload data to the database table. So here, let me just mention a h2 tag and I'm going to say upload data to database in PHP. So right now we're going to create a form, but before that, let me just open this in the browser, this home.php, and this home.php is inside my PHP tutorial. So let me just go to my browser and I'm going to say here localhost, my PHP tutorial, home.php. If you now press enter, here you can see upload data to database in PHP. So here we're going to create some input field, let's say username, email, and password, and then submit button. So let's go back to our code and here I'm going to say, let's just have a div. In this div, we're going to have a form and in this form, we're going to have some input field. So let me mention another div here. In this div, we're going to have a label. Let's say label will be user name. For this label, we need to have an input field. So the input type will be text. You need to give a name. Let's the name will be username. So let me just copy this and I'm going to paste it 2 times. So this one will be email. So let's say here email, the type will be email as well, and this one will be password. So let me just say here password and the type will be password as well. So let's say here password. So right now we need to have a submit button. So here for submit button there is no need to have a label. So for submit, the input type will be submit, and for this submit button, we need to give it a name. Let's say the name will be register, and we'll also give a value. Value will be register as well. If we now save this, then refresh here, there you can see we have some input field here. So let me just add a simple design here. Let's just have some space. So for it, in order to have some space, we need to use bear tag. So let me just copy this and I'll paste it after each div. If we now say, okay, let me just open it like this, then refresh, there you can see. And let me just add onboard design here for the level. So we set the head section, I'm going to say here style, and in the style we're going to write it CSS for the level. So let me just say here level, then the second bracket, level is this tag, okay. So let me just say here width, it would be 250 px. And we also need to say here display, it will be long. Save it, then refresh, and there you go. So right now, we want to upload those data to the database table. So first of all, what we need to do is that we need to create a database. So make sure that your Zap is running Apache or MySQL. After that, go to this admin, go to this link. Then here you can see we have a new option. Let me just zoom in. Here you can see we have a new option. Just click on new. Then you need to give your database name. Let's say our database name will be PHP tutorial. After that, you need to click on this create button. So I'll click on create, and there you can see a database is created. So the first thing we need to do is that we need to connect this database to our home.php, this one. So for it, what we are going to do is that we'll go at the top of our home.php, and we're going to say here PHP opening, then PHP closing. So inside this, we're going to connect our database, and we need to keep it inside a variable. Let's say $font equal to, we're going to say MySQLi underscore connect, this on, and inside this, first of all, we're going to say, we'll give to double quotation, then we'll say here localhost, then we'll give a comma, then we're going to give the database username. So by default, the username is root, and then we need to give the password. By default, the password is null. Then at the end, we need to give our database name. And here you can see our database name is PHP tutorial. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. Make sure that you write this properly. So once you write this, it means we are connected to the database. And if you want to check it, what you can do is that you can give a if condition. And here, if you just say $con, which is a variable, after connecting the database, we just keep it in the con variable. So here, if we say echo I am connected. If we now set this, then if we refresh here, there you can see it says I am connected. It means we are able to successfully connect to the database. So we are connected to the database. So right now what we need to is that we need to upload those data or those input field data to a table. So first of all, we will create some table or create a table in this database. So in order to create the table, first of all, just click on your database and then you will see this table name option. So let's say our table name will be students, STUD, students. Just add a S at the end and then click on create. So here we are going to have some input field, 4 input fields. So let's say the first one will be ID, this one will be name, this one will be email, and this one will be password. So for the ID, the type will be integer. Let's add a length. Let's say it will be 50, and we want the ID to be primary. So for it, let me just go on the right side a little bit, and here you will see this option AI. AI means auto increment. If you now just click on this or check this, then you can see it become primary key. So after this, we are going to make the name Varkar, email will be Varkar as well, password will be Varkar. And let's just say their default length will be 50. So we are done. And there is one more thing you can do is that if you want to allow null value, you can do it as well. You can just check those one by one. Okay. So right now, we need to click on this save button. Here you can see we have the save button here. Just click on save. And there you can see a table is created. So right now, if we just click on the students option or student table, you will see something like this. Here you can see ID, name, email, and password. So right now, we're going to input some data from the input field to over here. So for it, let's go back to the code. And first of all, what we need to do is that here you can see we mentioned a form. So inside this form, we are going to say here action. Then we'll say here method. So the method will be post. Just keep everything capital. And in the action, we'll just keep hash here. It means we're going to write the PHP code in order to upload it to our database in this folder PHP file. So let's go at the top. And here you can see we have given the PHP tag opening and closing there. So let me just remove this if condition from here because this is not necessary. So right now here, first of all, we're going to give a if condition. If, then to first bracket, that will say here is set. So here, inside this to first bracket, we're going to set $_post. This one. And make sure that this $_post is capital. Then here, we're going to mention the submit button name. So if we just go down, here you can see the name for the submit button is registered. So I'm going to copy this and I'll paste it over here. So what we are checking is that we will upload the data to the database only when someone click on this submit button. So inside this if condition, we are going to mention the submit button name. Then we'll give to second bracket. And after this, we are going to declare some variable to get the input field hello here. So let me just declare a variable. Let's say $name. You can declare the variable name anything you want. So we'll just say that $name equal to, we'll say $_post. Make sure to keep it capital. And inside this variable, there you can see inside these two single quotation, what we need to do is that we need to keep this username. I mean keep the name. Here you can see for the input type text for username, the name is username. So I'll just copy this and paste it here. and end it with a semicolon. So after this, let me just copy this and paste it 2 times. So we have 2 more input field. So here I'm going to say email, and let's say this one would be, let's only say pass. So for email, the name is email. There you can see, and for password, the name is password. So here I'm going to say email, and here it will be password. So this is just a variable, and this name will come from the input field, whatever you just mentioned in the name. Okay. So after this, what we are going to do is that we are going to declare a variable. Let's say $SQL equal to, we are going to write a SQL query. So we'll give to double quotation, then we'll say here insert into, after that we need to mention our table name, and our table name is students. You need to write it exactly you write in the database. Okay. So insert into students, then we give to first bracket, and in the student table we have the name field, email field, and password field. So we're going to mention those. So here I'm going to say name, comma, email, comma, password. After that, for those fields, we are going to upload some values. So we need to say here values, then do first bracket like this. So inside this to first bracket, we are going to mention this $name, email, and password. So here we can see we first write here name. So we need to copy this variable from here, $name. And first of all, we are going to keep 2 single quotation, not double quotation, single quotation. And we say $name, then we give a comma. After name, we have email. So let me just copy the email, then paste it here, again give a comma. And after that, we have the password. So let me just copy the pass variable, and we'll paste it here. Then we are going to end this with a semicolon. So there we are going to declare one more variable. Let's say $data equal to, we'll say MySQL underscore query, then to first bracket, end it with the semicolon. So inside this MySQL query, first of all, we are going to mention the database connection, which is $con. We are going to set here $con, give a comma, then we are going to mention this table query. That we want to upload some data to the student table. So we are going to mention this SQL, because we keep those in this variable. So once you just write those, it means we'll be able to upload the data to the student table. If we now just set this, and if we now refresh here, and let me just keep a username, random username, random email, random password, click on register. Okay, syntax error near Gmail. Okay, I think I got the error. The error is here. I forgot to give the single quotation here. So let me just keep single quotation here, and for the password as well. There you go. So let me save it. Let's go back. Let me give the hash, then press enter. Let me give username again, then email, then password, click on register, and there you can see it is done. So right now, if we just click on this browse option, there you can see we have the name, email, and the password here. So we are able to successfully upload it to the database. But the thing is, we should show a message that data uploaded successfully. So for it, what we can do is that here we are going to declare a if condition. If we'll say $data, it means if this is true, $data is true, it means if our data is uploaded successfully, we are going to say here echo, and let me just say script opening, then script closing, and we're going to show a JavaScript alert. So we'll say here alert, let's say data uploaded successfully, and let's also just give a else condition as well. Let's say else, let me just copy this, paste it here, we'll say data not uploaded, and let's end it with this semicolon. And we need to keep single quotation, not double quotation, because outside we already have single double quotation. So let's keep a single quotation here. So let's save this. Then let's use the hash from here. Press enter. So let's give a username. Let's add on. Email will be test, random password. Click on register, and there you can see data for the successful. If you click OK, there you can see this empty. If we just refresh here, there you can see we have one more data here. And one more thing, that is we shouldn't show the password in the database. So we can do one thing, that is we should hash the password. So in order to hash the password, what we need to do is that here we're going to declare a variable. Let's say dollar, just random name, $hash equal to, we're going to say password underscore hash. Then we're going to mention this dollar pass here, and it will be password underscore default. And then here to stop dollar pass, we are going to say dollar hash. Let me save it. Then let me use the hash on here. Press enter, and here I am going to say switch at the rate of gmail.com and a random password. Click on register. There you can see data put successfully. And if we now just refresh here, there you can see the password is finally passed. So we are not able to see the password. So this is how you can upload data to the database table, MySQL database table in PHP. I hope this tutorial was easy for you to follow. If you have any question or any suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to show data from MySQL database in PHP. And I'll show you everything step by step from the very beginning. So let me just go back to my code editor. And here I'm going to create a file. Let me just click on file, then new file, and the file name will be display.php, Ctrl S, then save. So first of all, what we are going to do is that we're going to connect our display.php with the database. So here on our database name is PHP tutorial. So let me just go back to the coding, and here we're going to give the PHP opening, then the PHP closing. And inside this, we're going to declare a variable. Let's say $gone equal to, we'll say MySQL underscore connect, indeed with the semicolon. And here, first of all, we need to say, to double quotation, beside it, we need to say localhost. Then we need to keep the database username, which is by default root. Then we need to keep the password, and by default, the password is null. And at the end, we need to add the database name, and our database name is PHP tutorial, this one. So I'll just copy it and I'll paste our tab. So once you write this, it means you are connected to your database. So right now we need to get the data from this students table. You can see we have a table called students. So we need to get all the data from this table. So for it, we need to declare another variable. Then we say here $SQL equal to. So you can declare any variable you want. Okay. So I'll just say here $SQL equal to. We give to double quotation. Then we say here select star from, and we need to mention our table name, which is students. And you need to write the table name exactly you have over here. Okay. So let's go back. Let's end this with the semicolon. After that, we need to declare another variable. We'll say here $result equal to, we'll say here MySQL underscore query, then to first bracket, and here inside this to first bracket, first of all, we need to mention this $1, where we just connect this page to our database. So we'll say $form, and we need to mention this $SQL. So we say here $SQL. Once you write this, what will happen is that all the data from this table, from the students table, will be stored in this $result variable. And here I'd like to mention is that when you keep select star, it means you are getting all the data from the student table. Okay. So right now we have the data from the students table. So we need to show those data. So for it, we are going to write some HTML code. So let me say here HTML, and in the body, we're going to say the table tag, and in the table tag, we have table row, and inside the table row, we have the table header. Let's say here TH, TR means table row, TH means table header. So the first one, let's say will be ID. Then let me say here again TH, let's just say here name like this. Then this one will be image. So this is just the table header, and we want to show those data from here. Here you can see we have some name, email, password, and ID here. So we will only show the ID, name, and email because we shouldn't show password. So we are going to show those data, but how can we show those data? So in order to show the data, we need to write some PHP code. So here we are going to keep the PHP opening, then the PHP closing like this. So inside this, we're going to say here while loop. So we'll say here while, then we'll declare a variable, let's say while $row equal to. So this variable, you can declare it anything you want, but we'll just go with row equal to, it will be MySQL underscore fetch underscore ASO. Then we need to give to first bracket like this. Then we need to give to second bracket. So here, what we need to is that we need to cut this second bracket, and we need to give this after this PHP closing. And here you can see that the PHP started from here and the PHP ended here. So right now we need to give another PHP opening and closing for this second bracket, and I'll tell you why. First, let me just give the PHP opening here, then the PHP closing here. So the thing is, right now we are going to write some HTML code, and we cannot write HTML code inside the PHP tag. That's why we are writing it like this. So first of all, just like the TH tag, we keep the TH tag inside the TR tag. So again, we are going to mention the TR tag. And inside the TR tag, we are going to say TD. TD means table data. So inside this TD, we are going to write some PHP code. So again, let me give the PHP opening, then the PHP closing like this. And inside this, we are going to say here echo, then we'll say here $. And there you can see we have a variable called $pro. And one more thing I forgot to do is that we said here we equal to MySQL fetch ASO, and here inside this two first bracket we need to keep this $result, because inside this $result variable we have all the data from the students table. So we need to mention this here. I forgot to add this. So make sure to add this $result inside the first bracket. And right now we are going to say here echo $row this on. Let me just copy this and paste it here. Then we need to give to third bracket to single quotation. So right now here inside this single quotation we need to mention which column data we are going to show. So here in that table we have ID, name, and email. And in the first column, in the first TH, we mention ID. So let me say here ID. And make sure that the spelling over here should be exactly matched with this. Okay. So let me just show you. Let me just open this in the browser. So let's save this. Let me go to my browser. I say here localhost / my basic tutorial, and our file name was display.php. Let's press enter, and there you can see we are able to see the ID 1, 2, 3. And right now we will show the name and email. So here you can see we write name like this. Let me zoom in, and we write email like this. So here let me just copy this TD for TD, and I'm going to paste this here. And this tag list of ID, I'm going to set here name. Again, I'll paste the TD, and this time I'm going to set here email. So save it, and right now if we refresh here, there you can see we are going to see the ID, name and email. And we are able to see those on by on serially because we use while loop. While loop will check how many data we have and it will show us those data on by on. And let's say you want to make some design for this table, you can do it as well. So for it, what you need to do is that here you can see we have table tag. So if you want, you can also use class inside the table row or whatever, but I'll just make it simple. So I'll go inside the head section and here I'm going to say style, and in the style I'm going to write the CSS for the table tag. So let's say here border, it will be on, let's say 3/4 solid black. Let's also write the CSS for TH tag and also for TD tag. So for the TH tag, we're going to say here text align, it will be center. Let's say font weight, it will be bold. Let's also mention the background color. Let's say background color will be sky blue. And right now let's write the CSS for the TD tag. We are going to say again text align to the center, and we can just add a padding. Let's say padding will be 15 here. If we now save it, then refresh here, there you can see it right now looks like a 10. So this is how you can show data from the database table in PHP. I hope this tutorial was easy for you to follow. If you have any question or if you have any suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to delete data from database using PHP. So I'm going to show you everything step by step from the very beginning. So first of all, we're going to have a delete option here. So for it, let's go to our code and we'll go down, and here you can see we have a tier, and inside this tier we have the table header. So here we are going to mention another th, and in this th we are going to say delete. So let's set this and let me just refresh here. There you can see we have one more th for delete. So here we are going to have a button so that the user can click on that button to delete it. So let's go back to our code, and here you can see we have a while loop. So inside this while loop we are showing the ID, name and email. So after this we are going to mention a td here, and in this td we are going to mention a anchor tag. So here in this anchor tag we are going to say delete. Let me just save it and let me show you again. Refresh, and there you go, we have the delete button. So what we want is that when you click on delete, this data should be deleted. So first of all, we need to get the ID for the specific data that we want to delete, because whenever we want to do something with any data, we need to use the ID, because ID is primary key and ID is always unique. That's why. So for it, let's go back to our code. And here you can see href. So in this href, we're going to say here display.php. Why display.php? Because our file name is display.php, and we'll write the delete code in the same file, in this display.php file. So we want to delete the data using ID. So we'll give a question mark here, then we'll say here ID, then we'll give a equal sign. Now we need to get the specific ID that we want to delete, and here you can see we show the ID like this. We give the PHP opening, and inside it we say it echo $row ID, and here you can see we write $row equal to MySQL fetch as of $result. So using this $row we are basically showing the ID, name and email. So right now here we're going to write some PHP code. So again we need to give the PHP opening, then the PHP closing like this, and here we're going to say echo, then we're going to mention this $row here. So we'll say here $row, which is basically this one. So $row we need to give third bracket to single quotation, and inside it we need to say here ID. So what will happen is that it will get the ID of a specific row. So right now if we just set this, and if we now just go back to our browser, refresh here, and if we take our cursor over here, on the delete button, just notice over here at this bottom left side, just notice here when I take my cursor, it will show us the ID. If I take my cursor on different delete button, it will show different ID. There you can see. And also if we click it, it will show at the top the ID. Let me click this on. There you can see it shows ID equal to 2. If I click the third on, it shows ID equal to 3. So right now we need to write some code to delete that specific data. So let me just go at the top, and here you can see we have the PHP opening and PHP closing, and here I connect our display.php to the database. So here first of all we are going to check if someone click on this button. So how can we check it? The thing is, whenever someone click on this button, we will get the ID. There you can see we get the ID here. So we are going to check it by giving a if condition. So here we'll say if is set, and inside it we are going to say $_get, and make sure to give the get capital, and inside this we are going to say ID, because let me go down here. You can see we write here ID equal to. So this is the ID that we are saying here. So we are saying if someone click on the delete button, it means we are getting the ID. So first of all, we will store this ID in a variable. Let's declare variable $s_id equal to, we'll just say this $_get ID. Let me just copy this and paste it here and end it with a semicolon. So whatever ID or whatever delete button we click here, that ID will go here and it will store in this $s_id variable. So right now we need to write a SQL query. So let me just declare a variable. Let's say del_SQL equal to double quotation delete from. Right now we need to mention our table name, and here you can see in the database table our table name is students. There you can see. So we are going to mention that here. So we'll say here students exactly we have in the database table. Then we are going to say here where ID equal to, we need to give two single quotation this time, and inside this single quotation we are going to mention this s_id. So let me just copy this and paste it here and end it with a semicolon. So here we are saying that delete data from the student table where ID is equal to s_id. So here you can see this ID will come from the database table. Here you can see that table and we have a ID column here. So this ID is basically this one, and this in the s_id we are getting when we are click on a specific delete button. So right now in order to complete the delete, let me just declare another variable. Let's say $data. You can declare the variable anything you want, equal to MySQL query_query. We need to give to first bracket, and here you can see we have a variable here $con, and here we just connect our display.php to the database. So we are going to mention this $con here, then we'll give a comma here, then we are going to mention this $delete_SQL variable. So right now let's end it with a semicolon and let's save this. So let's go back to our browser, but let me just explain it again. Here, whenever someone click on this delete button, it will get the IDs of that specific row, store it in this variable, and then since we click on the delete button, so it will come to this if condition, store the ID in this variable. Then we are running this query delete star from students where ID equal to s_id. It will check in the database table if that ID exists. If exists, it will delete the data in this line. Okay, so we are saying that just execute the query. So let me save it and let me refresh here. And this time if we click on delete button, there you can see that data is deleted. Let me just refresh here as well. There you can see there is only one data. Let me just insert one more data here. Let's say ID is 5, name is random, email is random, password is random. Click on go. And let me refresh here. There you can see there is one more data. If I now click on delete, that data is deleted. So this is how you can delete data in PHP. I hope this was easy for you to follow. I tried to explain as much as possible so that you can understand it clearly. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to update data using PHP. So here we're going to first of all have an update option here, and when we click on that update option, it will take us to another page with some certain data. So let's go back to our code, and here you can see we have a table and we have the tier tag for the table header. So after this delete th, we're going to have one more th for update. So let's say here update. If we now save, then refresh here, there you can see we have update option. So let's go and create a button here so that we can click on a certain data. So let's go back to the code and we'll go down, and here you can see we have the delete option. So after this, we're going to mention a TD here, and in this TD, we're going to mention an anchor tag. So here, let's say update, save it, then let's refresh here, and there you can see we have the update option. So right now, what we'll do is that when you click on this update option, it will take us to another page, and it will also get the ID of a certain data. So for it, what we need to do is that here, let's say update.php. So right now we need to create this update.php. So let's just right click here, then click on new file, and I'm going to say here update.php, Ctrl S, then save. So let me just say here simple HTML, and in the body I'm going to say here update page. Let's set this. So right now if we click on this update button, it will take us to this page. So let's just refresh here and click on update. There you can see it took us to this page, and here at the top we want to get the ID. So for it, what we are going to do is that now here after this update.php, we are going to give a question mark sign, then we'll say here ID equal to. So what we are going to do is that we are going to get this ID for a certain data over here. So in order to do that, we need to give a question mark here. I mean the PHP opening, then the PHP closing like this, and here you can see by using $row, we are able to get the ID, name, email. So the same way we can also get the ID here as well. So I'm going to say here equal $row to third bracket, and we'll get the ID here. We'll say here ID. So right now if we save this, refresh here and click on update, there you can see it took us to update.php page with the ID which is 6. Here you can see ID equal to 6. If I click this on, here it is the ID is 8. If I click on update, there you can see ID is 8. So right now, in order to update the data, those data, we need to have some input field over here, right? So let's go and make some input field, and we want to update the name and the email address. Let's say, so for it, what we need to do is that in the update.php, we're going to mention a form. And in this form, let's have a div, and in this div, let's have a label. Label will be, let's say, name. For this label, we're going to have a input field. The input type will be text, and the name will be, let's say, name. Let me just give a PR tag here to print some space. So let me just copy this, and I'm going to paste it here. This time I'm going to set here email, and the type will be email, and the name will be email. So we need to give all more div for the starting parameters. So here we do not need label, so we'll set here input type, it will be submit, the name will be update, and the value it will be update. Let's set it, and right now if we just refresh here, click on update, it will take us to this page, and here you can see we have the name field and email field. So right now what we want is that first of all, we need to get the name and email whenever we click on a certain update button. Let's say if we click on this update button, we want the screen and screen @gmail.com to those inbox page. So how can we do it? And that is, here you can see we are already sending the ID to this page. So right now what we are going to do is that we'll go at the top, and here we are going to open the PHP opening and the PHP closing here. So first of all, what we need to do is that we need to connect this update.php with the database. Here you can see our database name is PHP tutorials. So we need to connect it to the database. So let me just pick the variable. Let's say $font equal to, we say here MySQL I connect. Then inside this, we are going to say here localhost. Then we are going to give the username, which is root. Then the password, which is null by default. Then we are going to mention our database name, and our database name is PHP tutorial. So we set here PHP tutorial. So right now we are connected to the database. So what we need to do is that by using this ID, here you can see by using this ID, we are going to take the data from the student table and show it over here. So for it, what we need to do is that we need to declare another variable. Let's say $get_SQL equal to, we'll keep to double quotation, then we'll say here select from our table name, which is students. So let me just show you. Here you can see our table name is students. So we say here select star from student, then we'll say here where ID equal to single quotations, and we need to end this with the single quote. So here you can see this ID. This ID is basically this one. Here you can see ID, and here you can see we give to single quotation. So here the ID we'll get is basically this one that we are sending from here whenever someone click on the update button. So for it, let me just declare a variable here. So let me say that $s_id equal to, we'll say that $_get, then we need to say that ID. So here you can see ID. This ID is basically this one. Here you can see ID equal to. So this ID is this all, and we are keeping this ID in this variable s_id, and we're going to say this $s_id here. So we are going to say here $s_id. So what will happen is that whenever someone click on an update button, it will get the ID. Then here what it will do is that it will store that ID in this variable, and then using that ID we are going to get the data for that specific student. So right now we are going to say $query equal to, let's say here MySQL I_query. We need to keep for first bracket, and here first of all we need to mention this database connection. After that we need to mention this $get_SQL. This all. Okay, so we keep this inside this variable. So we just leave a comma here and mention it. So after this, what we need to is that we are getting the data and storing it to this query variable. So right now this is a single data. So when we are displaying any data, we are using for loop, but since this is a single data, so we do not need to use for loop. So here we are just going to declare a variable. Let's say $o equal to, we send here MySQL I_fetch_ it will be row, and inside this we are just going to mention this $query. Okay, so I hope you are clear. Normally I will explain this again. So whatever data we have for this specific ID will be stored in this $row variable. So using this $row, we'll be able to get the specific ID and specific email address. So right now we go down, and here you can see we have the name input field. So here we are going to say hello. Then we are going to give the PHP opening, then PHP closing. So after this, we are going to mention the dollar row to third bracket to seal position. And first of all, this is a name. So we want to get the name, and the name variable, the name column is written like this, name and email. So I'm going to say here name. And again for email, we're going to do the same. We're going to give the PHP opening, then the PHP closing, and here we're going to, okay, let me just copy this, then paste it here, and here I'm going to say here email. So right now, let's just explain this again. So whenever someone click on this update button, it will get the specific ID for that update, and then it will go to the update.csv base. And first of all, we will connect it to the database. Then here the ID we are sending from here will catch it over here. Then we write a SQL query that selects star from our table name where ID is equal to the ID we are sending from here, which is this one. Then we are executing the query, and then we are storing that in the dollar row variable, and using that dollar row we are also get the name and email. Okay, so right now if we save, then if we now refresh here and click on, let's say for this one, Smith with @gmail.com. If you click on this update button, okay, there's an error. The error is we need to mention here echo. Sorry, I forgot to write this. We need to set here echo, and also echo here as well. If we save it again, then refresh. Okay, so we are getting a error here, undefined energy. Okay, I think the issue might be this one below. I think this will be SO. Not pro. Let me just save it again, and let me refresh, and then as you are able to get the name and the email address. If I now click on different on, let's say for John, if I click on update, then you can see we are able to see the data to update. So right now we want to update the data. So for it, what we need to do is that here you can see for this update.php we have a form. So inside this form we are going to set here action, then we'll set here method. So method will be post, and right now what we are going to do is that we are going to go at the top, and we are going to give a if condition. If, then to first bracket, then to second bracket, like this. So right now, first of all, what we are going to check in this if condition is that if someone click on the update button or not. So here you can see name equal to update. So what we are going to do is that we are going to say here if is set, we are going to set $_ post, and here in the variable we are going to mention this name, which is update. So we are going to say here update. So we come to this if condition only while someone click on the update button. So right now here we are going to say, or we can just directly copy this s_id equals to $_get ID. After that, we're going to declare onward variable. Let's say $s_name equal to, we'll say here $_post, and here in this post variable we are going to mention this name here. Here you can see name equal to name, so we're going to say name here. Then we're going to say, let me just copy this and paste it here, and it will be email. So here we are saying post because in the method we said here post. Okay, so that's why. So right now we can write a SQL query to update our data. So we're going to declare a variable here. Let's say $update_SQL equal to, we give double quotation, and here we are going to say update our table name, which is student. Then we need to say here set. Then here in the database, you can see we write here name. We want to update the name and email. So we are going to say here set name equal to, we give two single quotation here, and we are going to give this s underscore name here. Then we'll give a comma here. So after name, we want to update the email. So we'll say here email equal to, we'll give two single quotations. And we're going to say here, okay, this one will be s underscore email. Let me just copy this and we'll paste it here. After that, we're going to say here, where the ID equal to single quotation, where the ID is this one, s underscore ID. So we can just paste this here and in this with a semicolon. So after that, we need to declare one more variable. Let's say $data equal to MySQL I underscore query to first bracket, and here we're going to mention this $font here, give a comma, then we're going to mention this update SQL. Let me just copy this, paste it here. And after that, if you want to check or show a message that update is successful, you can give a if condition. So here you can say if $data, if the update is successful, we can show a script message here. So script opening and script closing here. Inside this, we can say here alert, indeed with a semicolon, and we can say here data updated successfully. So the thing is, you need to set here echo, then to double quotation here. I'll just cut this and paste it inside the double quotation. And let me remove this semicolon from here. Let's in this with a semicolon. Let's set this. And let me just refresh here. Let's click on an update option. There you can see John and something. Let's say here John 123. Email will be John 123. Click on update. It shows a message that data updated successfully. If I click OK, there you can see. So let me just go back to our page and let me refresh here. There you can see John 123. So right now what we'll do is that after updating the data, we'll send the user to this display.php page. So here after this data update successfully, we are going to set here header to first bracket to double quotation, and it will be capital location, and the location will be display.php. So right now, if we now just set this and let's go back, refresh here, let's click on let's say Yamin Shakil, this one. Let's remove Shakil from here, and also from email, let's remove Shakil. Let's click on update. There you can see it took us to the update.php page, and the data is updated. So this is how we can update data in PHP. If you have any question or suggestion, you can let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to upload emails to the database table using PHP. So let's go back to our coding. And here you can see we have a form. We have some input field called username, email, and password. So here we are going to add one more div here. And in this div, we're going to add an input field for the image. So for the image input field, we need to say here file, and let's say the name will be my underscore image. And let me just add some line break here, and here. So let me just set this, and if we now just refresh here, there you can see we have the image upload option. So right now what we're going to do is that first of all, when we just upload an image from here, let's say this all, if we just upload an image and click on this register button, it will upload that image to a folder over here. Okay. So right now, what we are going to do is that here you can see we have a form. So inside this form, we need to say here action hash method post, and we need to say here inc type, it will be multi-part / form data, form dash data. So whenever you are uploading a file, you need to say in the form inc type equal multi-part / form data, because you are trying to upload a file. So right now, whenever someone click on this button, input type submit button, it will call this if condition. There you can see if is set $_post register, which is our button name. Here you can see our button name is register. So whenever someone click on that button, it will come here, and here after this hash, we're going to write the code to upload our image. So first of all, we're going to declare a variable. Let's say here $image_name. So first of all, we'll get the image. So for it, we need to say here $_files, and make sure that this files is capital. And here we're going to mention our image file name. So our for image, the name is my_image. So I can just copy this and I will paste this here. After that, we again give to third bracket and we'll say here name. Then we already have the image name. So right now, every image has a name and extension. So what is the extension? For example, let me just show you an image. For example, here you can see I have an image here. So this is the image name 14 and .jpg. This is the extension. So what we are going to do is that we are going to separate the name and image extension. So for it, we are going to declare another variable. Let's say here $tmp equal to, we'll say here explode, and here we're going to give two double quotation, and inside it we'll give a dot. And here we're going to say instead of string, we're going to say this image_name, and in this with a semicolon. So what this will do, it will separate our image and the image extension. Okay, so the first part will be the image name, and the second part will be the image extension, and it will store it in this temp variable. So right now we're going to keep our image a unique name, and we're going to use time function in order to give every image a unique name. So let me declare another variable. Let's say $new file name equal to, we say here round to first bracket, and inside this we're going to say micro time, and this one will be true. So after that, we're going to give a dot here, then to single quotation, again dot, again another dot, and here we're going to mention this $temp, and we're going to say here int $temp. Why? Because we only want to get the image extension like .png or .jpg. So that's why we said here .in_tmp. So here this will give the image a unique name by using the type function, and this will be the image extension. So right now we're going to say where or which folder we are going to store the image. So let me just create a folder here. So I'll just right click here, then click on new folder. Let's say our folder name will be uploads. So there you can see we have a folder here, and in this folder we're going to upload our image. So right now we're going to say here another variable let's say upload path equal to, we'll give to double quotation, and here we're going to mention the folder name which is uploads. Then we'll give a dot here, then we need to mention this image name. So we'll just paste it here and indeed with a semicolon. And we also need to give a slash here because we want to upload the image to this folder with the new name. Okay, so after this, we need to move the image to this folder. So we are going to say here move uploaded file, and here in the file name we are going to say $_files. Then we are going to say my_image, which also our input field name. Here you can see name equal to my image. And after this, again we'll give to third bracket, and we're going to mention a tmp_name. So we're going to upload the image, and here we need to mention the destination, and the destination will be this one. Here you can see uploaded path, where we say the image will be uploaded to this location with the new name, and the previous name will be previous image name will be temporary, but we'll upload the image with the new name. So right now, if we just set this, and if we now just go back to our browser, then refresh here, let's give a name, email address, a password, and let me just choose a file from here. This one, click open, there you can see a file name is written here. If we now click on register, there you can see data uploaded successfully. And if we just go back to our code, and here you can see, if we now click on the upload folder, there you can see we have the image. So we're able to upload the image, but the thing is we did not upload the image in the database. So what we need to do is that we need to upload the image name, the new image name in the database. So how can we do it? So in order to do it, first of all, let me just go to my database, which is PHP tutorial. Then we'll go to our students table, and I'm going to insert a column called image here. So right now for it, let me just click on structure. Here you can see the structure also, and if you go down here, you can see we have add on column. After password, you can choose after email, after name. Let me just choose after email, then click on go. And let's say the name will be image, and the type will be worker. Let's say length will be 250, and let's just make it nullable, and then we'll click here and save. So right now we'll have one more column called image here. There you can see it is null. So now we'll upload the image to this table. So for it, what we need to do is really simple. So what we need to do is that we need to go to the SQL query. Here you can see inside to student name, email, password, and here we'll give a comma here, and we'll mention our image column name, which will come from the database, which is this one. Here you can see image, and here you can see we have the values field. So in the values, we're going to give a comma here, then we'll give to single quotation, and inside this to single quotation, we're going to keep this new file name, and here in the new file name, we give the image a new name using the time function. So we just copy this and we paste it here, then save it. So right now, let me just remove this hash from here, pressing there. Let's give a name. Let's say Yamin. Email will be yamin@gmail.com. Random password. Choose file. Let me choose different file this time. Let's choose this one, CSS tutorial. Then click on open. And now click on register, and there you can see data uploaded successfully. If we now just refresh our table, there you can see we have a data here in the image column. There you can see a random name.png file. And if we just go to our code, there you can see we have one more image here. There you can see. So this is how you can upload image to the database using PHP. I hope this was easy for you to follow and understand. I tried my best to explain, and I will also give this code in the comment section so that you can just tightly copy it out. So thank you very much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorial. In this tutorial, I am going to show you how to display image from database using PHP. So here you can see we are showing the name email. So right now we are going to show the image from the database. So what you need to do is that we'll go back to our code, and here after the email we'll add one more th here, and here we're going to say image. So right now we'll go down, and here you can see email. So after email we're going to show the image. So let me say here td tag, and here we're going to mention the image, and in the source, first of all we need to mention in which folder we are uploading the image. So we are uploading the image in the uploads folder. So first of all, we need to mention the folder name, which is uploads. Then we need to give a slash here. After that, we need to give the PHP opening, then the PHP closing. Then here you can see by using $row, we are showing the ID, name, and email. So again, we are going to say here, first of all, we need to say echo, then $row, then to third bracket, then to single quotation, and inside these two third brackets and single quotation, we are going to mention our image column name, which is image. So we say here image, and we need to end this with a semicolon. So right now, if we just save this, and if we just refresh here, there you can see we are able to see the image, but the image size is too big, right? So in order to solve it, We're going to say here after the image, we say here height, it will be, let's say, 80 px, and width, it will be 80 px. And let's also say here ALT, and in the ALT, we're going to say image not found. If there is any issue with the image, that the image is somehow deleted from the upload folder, then it will show us a message that image not found. Okay, there is a arrow sign here. Let me remove this. So it will be like this. So right now, if we save it, then refresh here, there you can see image is right now smaller and we can see the image properly. So this is how you can show image from database using PHP. I hope this was super simple for you. Make sure to subscribe and I will to see you in the future tutorials. Hello everyone, in this tutorial I am going to show you how to make search in PHP. So here first of all we are going to have a search option at the top of this table. So for it, let's go back to our code, and here you can see currently we are in the display.php, and if you go down there you can see we have the table, and in this table we are showing the data. Here you can see $2 equal to MySQL fetch SO, and we are showing the data from the database table which you are seeing over here. So those are coming from the database. So let's go and first create a search option here. So here before the table, I can just mention a div. In this div, we're going to have a form. Then for this form, let's have an input field. Let's say input type will be text and name will be my_search. After that, we're going to have a submit button. So let's say here input type, it will be submit and name will be search, and let's say here value, it will be search. So for this form, let's say here action will be null, and we'll say here method, it will be get. So action will be null because we're going to write the search code in that sentence. So let's save this, and if we now just refresh here, there you can see we have the search option here at the top. Okay, let me just add it PR tag here to create some gap, and it was paste it over here as well. Let's save it, let me refresh, and there you can see you have the search option here. So what we want is that if we type something and click on search, it would show us that certain result. For it, what we do is that here you can see action equal to empty. It means we are going to write the search code in the same place. So for it, let's go at the top, and here you can see scaling up to select start from student, and from here using this $result, basically we are showing all the data over here, right? So before this, I'm going to give a if condition in, then we say here is set, and inside this we are going to say $_ get, and inside this get to single quotation we are going to mention this name equal to search. So we are going to say here get search, then we'll give to second bracket. So first of all, inside this if condition, we want to get the value from this input field. Here you can see input type text and name is my search. So we want to get the input field data, and the name is my_search. So right now we're going to declare a variable. Let's say $search equal to, we'll say $_get. It will be my_search, which will come from the input field name. After that, we're going to write a SQL query, and what we're going to do is that we're going to declare the same variable that we mentioned over here. Here you can say $SQL. So we say here $SQL equal to, we'll keep double quotation, we'll say here select star from, we'll mention our table name which is students, and we are going to make a search. Let's say we want to search the data based on name and email address. So for it, we are going to say here concat, then to first bracket, and inside this to first bracket we need to mention the column name for name and email. Here you can see we write in the student table name and email like this. So we're going to say here name, comma, email. Then we need to say here like. Then we'll give to single quotation like this, and inside this we need to give to percentage. Then we are going to mention this variable dollar search over here like this. So you need to write it like this. After that we need to declare this same variable dollar result. So I am going to say here dollar result equal to, it will be my SQLi underscore connect. And inside this we need to first mention the database connection. Here you can see I have the database connection variable here $con. So I will going to say here $phone, comma, this $SQL. Okay. So after that, after this if condition, we are going to mention the else condition. Then we'll give to second bracket like this. And inside this else condition, I'm going to cut this and paste it over here. So what will happen is that whenever someone search for something, it will get that certain search data and store it in this $result variable. Then it will show the data based on the search result. And if a user do not search for anything, then it will just select all the data from the student table and show us the data, every data from the student table to over here. So that's why we are mentioning the same variable, this $result for both if and else condition. Okay, there is a problem, that is here it will be MySQL underscore query, this one. Okay, MySQL query and select star from students, and we need to set here where contact name and email. So we want to search by using name and email. So let's save it and let me just refresh here, and let's say we want to search by this name nature. Let's say here nature, press enter, it will show us this. And if we just say here let's say Luffy, press enter, it will show us this. And we can also search by email address as well. Let's say here yamin@gmail.com. Click on search, it will show us this. And if we just keep it empty and click on search, it will show us all the data. So this is how you can make a simple search in PHP. If you have any question, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorial.